Air conditioner just turned on. Awesome. All right, so quick update with all the extra stuff that I've been doing that is not active Aero. I've just been doing regular Aero, like the canards and the spats. I don't know if I have uploaded anything to do with the spats as of this video, but it's something else I'm working on. The active Aero part, I am working on some of the design that is much more design intensive. This other stuff is more just like I can work on, and I don't really need 3D models or anything. The canards I do, but that stuff's already done. It was just a matter of getting a 3D scan of the car and then making the molds for it, which I've already done, which was fairly easy. So I'm doing the spats as well. So the first canard I did was a vacuum bag, and it was okay. There was a small leak, but it held pressure all right. It was 4 layers, 1 carbon fiber on the outside each side, and then 1 or 2 fiberglass layers in the middle, sandwiched in the middle. No, it's fine. The next canard I did was 6 layers, and it was using the piston method. 2 carbon fiber on the outsides, and then 2 fiberglass in the middle. Total of 6 layers. The one I did after that, I tried to do a vacuum bag that had a really big leak that I couldn't find, so I ended up taking it out of the vacuum bag and then applying the piston on the outside of the vacuum bag and just clamping it. That ended up working out pretty well. I didn't see the inconsistency in thickness that I did on the one that I just did the piston on. Now, the reason I had the inconsistent thickness on the first piston canard is because I think I applied too much pressure in one axis down, clamping the larger surface, and then I clamped on in the other axis to squish the flanges together. And I think I clamped the first one too hard because the flanges, the part that mounts to the body of the car, and the wall on the outside of the canard were thicker than that horizontal surface. So that, I believe, is the reason that the first piston canard didn't end up quite the way I wanted. It's completely usable, but the inconsistent thickness I just didn't like. It didn't seem very high quality, so I'm not going to end up using that one. I also tried brushing on another layer of epoxy, and that cured very uneven. With a pretty good sander, I could probably get it even, but it's just much more thick than it needs to be, and there's more epoxy in there than I think needs to be in there. So not using that one. The canard that was vacuum bagged had a leak, and then I applied the piston. Turned out pretty well. The thickness is just a tiny bit more than the first canard I did with 4 layers, so that, I believe, is more representative of what I would want in a piston method. I have a few more clamps on order. They should arrive here today, and I will use multiple clamps in each direction and then apply the pressure more gradually on each axis, and that, I believe, will allow the pressure to be more distributed. I might put a harder surface like a steel plate on either side to distribute the force more evenly. One concern that I have if I don't use a plate on the outside is the supports inside the 3D print. The ones that I have now are not, I think it's like a 15% infill, so those are pretty spread out, and the clamping force, I believe, will be too much to just use one clamp across the whole thing. So the the infill is kind of a limit on the current molds. Originally they were going to be for vacuum bagging, but now if I'm going to use mechanical pressure, I'll probably move it up to like a 25 to 30% infill, and then I'll probably order some steel plates that go on the outside that I can use. I might glue them on, I might not. I'm not sure if I want to glue them on, because then I'd have to get new ones if I printed different molds. So it might just be something that maybe I'll just hot glue it so I can pull it off relatively easily if I need to. But yeah, that's where we're at. I have enough material to do one more canard and 2 spats. So after that, I'll have to order more carbon fiber. I've got a bit more fiberglass, but I'll probably need to order more of that too. I'm not sure actually if I will get more fiberglass. It will probably be easier just to get one big roll of carbon fiber. So that's probably what I'll do. So after these prototypes, moving forward, the parts will probably be completely carbon fiber. There is a really cool material that I pointed out in a previous video that is a carbon fiber fiberglass Kevlar hybrid. It's a single twill, I believe that's what it's called. It's not a 2x2 twill, which is what I've been using now. It's a single twill. So well, just look that up. I'm not going to explain it very well. As far as the active Aero part, I think my first version, I'm not going to make it active. It will just be a stationary adjustable wing. I would like to make it active, but I've seen some other active Aero solutions that I really liked, and they went a different route than I was planning on going. So I think I need to do some more research into that. Another thing, I believe that incremental graduations between minimum drag and maximum drag, and minimum downforce and maximum downforce. I can't think of realistic scenarios for a daily driver of 220 horsepower or 300 or less horsepower, even maybe 400 or less horsepower, with a close to a 1 to 10 power to weight, that you would want incremental between min and max. You're just going to want min or max. I might look at pneumatics. I really just haven't decided yet. The benefit of that is I don't need any moving parts to come out of the trunk, so that would be nice. But then you have an air compressor. From what little research I've done, that looks like a much more expensive solution than just using a motor, but I just need to look more into it. So that is the course of the project right now. I've kind of scaled back the scope. So right now, it's just going to be an Aero project. I do plan on making it active Aero, but that is going to be kind of in a version 2 after I've learned enough to build reliable, functional Aero, and then I'll add on the active part of it. I am a little disappointed just because of the video series. I wanted to do, you know, active right out of the gate, but I think from an engineering perspective, this is a much more realistic approach, and so I hope you guys still find this interesting. I think I'm definitely learning a lot, and I hope you're learning a lot too, or at least finding it entertaining. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update, kind of consolidate everything I've done so far. The Aero analysis, like the airfoil analysis and selection and all that, I think is pretty much wrapped up. I'm gonna go with that Selig, I think it was a 1223 RTL, and then I think I'm going to do a swept wing design to kind of go along with the curve of the trunk. I think that's it. I hope this is still finding a good audience and that people are enjoying this. I really am. This has been a super cool project, and doing something unique for you know, your car that a lot of people do the same kind of thing to is really fun. Being able to really do some actual custom work. I'm pretty excited. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to progressing more on this project, and I hope you guys will join me on the ride. Be sure to do something kind for someone today, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.